Okay, do we have everyone?
I am
Yeah.
here.
Hi. Awesome. Awesome. Well, happy Halloween, everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of Fright Lounge, the show in which the best horrorologists in town will get a discussion on horror in depth going, and we'll get a conversation going for the seasoned horror viewers as well as the newbies, people who want to know what horror is all about. You've come to the right place. I, of course, am Rigor. I'm host of the podcast Then Is Now, The East Meets the West, and Cult Movie Lounge. And with me, as always, is Bill Van Ryn of Groovy Doom and Driving Asylum, Michael, and the Prince Regent of electronic dance music, Dantes Alexander. Welcome, guys.
You're here.
Welcome. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. So before we begin, I just want to give out our contact info. You can reach us at havenpodcasts.com. That's our website, and there's contact info in there. And then, Bill, where can the folks at home find you?
Groovydoom.etsy.com is where I sell my print fanzines. The latest of which just came hot off the press. It's Haunt.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess this thing is like making it impossible. Here, how about this?
Here it
There
is.
you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah.
a little bit better.
So this is my Halloween fanzine, very thematic for our show tonight. And it's just full of newsprint images of stores with like little Halloween clip art in their ad, movies that were screening on Halloween and had like a costume contest or something going on. I collect all of them. I make a collage out of them and I print it. This is the 10th issue. It's available now.
That's
There's
awesome.
my plug. Sorry.
I got to order mine. And Dantes, what about you? You got some exciting things going on?
Oh God, yeah. I'm so exhausted actually. But yeah, so guys, we have some exciting news to share with everyone. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but Rigor actually did some voiceover work for my album, They Won't Go When I Go, which came out on the 25th. So now we're at radio, and we are not only at radio, but we are kicking butt and taking names at radio. So we had a number one top streamed album on the MMD charts, which is the internal charts that the college radio systems use to select their music for rotation. So, which is good, but not only that, we debuted at number 681 on the NAACC top 1,000 charts. And the unweighted charts were at 529, and we're projected to break into the next top 200 within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, so a lot of exciting stuff going on.
That is
Wow.
exciting.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
And
Yeah.
it is. I'm sure it doesn't hurt that, Roger, was an excellent DJ on my album. I mean, I of course sang the house down, but the glue that keeps everything together, was Wolfman Furlan. So
A little bit of Wolfman Jack and a little bit of Dick Clark in there,
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Casey Kasem, I mean.
I mean, just from like from trying to put myself in like a radio programming perspective, like that is very unique. As as you're sitting there shifting through shit, you hear another DJ talking back to you. So, yeah,
Awesome.
so very exciting about it.
Yeah. And we won't say anything, but I think we've
Awesome.
got another collaboration on the horizon, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Bill, unfortunately, I could not get to the Drive-In Monsterama this past September.
Yeah.
So I know you went. How was it?
Yeah, how was it, Bill?
It was the weather was completely amazing. And I think this was the best weather we ever had for a September Monsterama. It tends to be a little chilly in September, obviously, but thanks global warming, it's warm now in September. And yeah, it rained during the day, which was a bummer. And I thought, oh, it's going to ruin everything. It didn't. It was just like a light misting. It stopped by the time the movies began, and the ground wasn't even wet for the
Oh,
rest
wow.
of the night, which is also another annoying thing about rain at the drive-in. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was fantastic. We had a great time. Friday night was 4 Roger Corman films. Um, Several of which, I mean, I've never seen any of those movies on a big screen before, but
Oh,
not
wow.
only that, I never saw them fixed up like they are. Like they're all remastered and looking pristine.
Wow.
We
Oh,
watched a
wow.
35 millimeter print of The Raven that looked
Oh,
like it had never been screened before. It was amazing.
Really? Was it that clear like that? Really?
Yeah, it looked like a DCP. It looked like a projection,
Wow.
but it was real nice and sharp, and the color hadn't faded. I don't know if it was a new print or what, but and I'd never seen The Raven. That was a brand new watch for me.
oh wow.
I never watched that one, but I have now. And I was really embarrassed because I got through the whole thing and there's this young man in it who's Peter Lorre's son. And I'm like, oh, that guy looks weird and familiar. And then after it was over, I realized it was fucking Jack Nicholson. I was like, oh
Oh,
my God, that was him
wow.
as a child.
That's
Well, not a
hilarious.
child, but
But yeah, he was
Yeah.
real young.
to my eyes, I did not recognize him. He's also in The Terror, which was the second movie.
Yeah.
Definitely recognized him there. He looks like the Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
And Saturday night was all Italian horror films.
I know.
The Beyond,
Yeah. Oh,
fabulous.
love that
A
one.
beautiful print
Never seen
by
that.
Grindhouse Releasing. And it's brand new, by the way.
Okay.
A 4K restoration.
Wow.
And it was looking great. You could see the latex in all the makeup in the movie. there,
That's
there's a
awesome.
there's a scene where spiders eat off somebody's face, and
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
see like
Wow.
the latex as it's pulling pieces of flesh off of the face. But love it. Dario Argento's opera also screened. Never seen it on a big screen before. It blew me away.
Yeah.
Um,
That's cool.
Also, Cemetery Man was another
Oh,
one.
yeah.
That's a fave, I
I
guess, for a
still
lot
have
of
not.
people.
I've heard so many great things about that film, and I just have
It's
not.
really good.
I'll put it
It's
on my.
basically this guy is like a caretaker at a cemetery, but the dead keep coming back, so he has to keep killing them and reburying them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's his job in the movie, and it's kind of like it is a comic book. Is Was it originally a graphic novel?
I don't know.
Well, it's just a series of episodes and vignettes in his life. There's really not much of a through line in that film. And I don't know. Probably, I'm not as crazy about it as a lot of folks are, but it's certainly a beautiful film. Michaela Suavi, the director.
Yeah.
There was also a fourth movie, A Blade in the Dark. We've already seen it. Well, I've seen almost all of them, but it was really late and it was the second night and I left. I did not watch A Blade in the Dark, but
Oh,
Okay.
that's too
forgive
bad.
me.
Sometimes you can't watch them all. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, folks, tonight our topic is going to be about our favorite films and TV shows and stuff we like to do around Halloween. Maybe even we'll have some favorite memories. It's just basically going to be all Halloween oriented. So, yeah. So why don't we get into let's talk about our movies first. And Bill, why don't you go first? What movies do you prefer to watch around Halloween?
There are a number of them. One of my favorite movies to watch at Halloween is called The Child.
Hmm.
It's from 1977,
The
filmed
child.
in 76, finally released in 77. And it's sort of like got it it's very derivative of other movies, but it's a unique mixture of all of them. It's got a little bit of Carrie, it's got a whole lot of Night of the Living Dead. It
Hmm.
turns into a full out zombie assault, and it's definitely a Halloween movie. It takes place right around Halloween. There's a Halloween party in it. They didn't bother to hire any children actors to be the Halloween party. It's just kind of like off screen. There is a child in the movie, but only the one in the title. She can move things with her mind, and her mother was a witch and her mother's dead, and she thinks that everyone around her killed her mother, and she hates everybody, and she has like a death list for everybody. There's like people on her death list, and she uses these mental abilities to resurrect zombies from a local creepy cemetery, and they come to life and they murder people that she doesn't like.
Oh, cool.
That's
That's
a lot
awesome.
of fun.
What year was this?
What's that?
Any others, Bill? That like when Halloween comes, like what's the first thing you think of? Oh, I gotta watch this.
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark is another one, that the made for TV movie from 1973, where Kim Darby moves into a spooky old mansion that she inherits, and there's a fireplace that the caretaker keeps warning her not to unbrick. And does she listen to him? No. She opens the fireplace, and inside the fireplace are these three weird gremlins that live in there. They're like imps or something, and they have these weird walnut heads. They're only about a foot tall.
I
And they're
know
all,
this movie.
see? Well, there was a remake.
Yes, that's why I know it from the remake. And even, but I have to admit that I do like the original one better. And it really, this movie fucked up my whole understanding. Like it really did. Like I'm so serious. Like
Yeah.
it made me look at my teeth and be like, "Oh my God." Like
It made you paranoid about your teeth?
yes, because I don't want those damn imp things to come and like, take
Oh,
my teeth
I
if I like,
I forgot, in the remake they're after the teeth.
they're after the teeth in the remake, yeah.
You never know what they really want in the original, other than they just want to get her. They keep like whispering to
Oh,
each other, like, we'll get her tonight, we'll get her tonight.
oh my God. That movie is very scary.
So
It's really
I have to interrupt for a second here because I just
yeah.
noticed we had a couple of people that told us the video is off, and as I look at it now on YouTube and Facebook, it's weird. It's like zoomed in on
Oh
mine.
yeah.
Let
We
me.
can see a
Let's
whole
see.
lot of Rigor and
I'm
just
gonna
a
I'm gonna
little
change the
short.
views. Maybe I'm gonna say leave
Okay.
immersive view and see what happens there.
Hmm.
I see us
Oh, it's
all.
still
Are we
weird
There.
looking. Okay,
It's
now it's back to normal.
Yeah, you corrected it.
Yes.
all right? I'm still not. It hasn't caught up on my. Oh, there we go.
It will.
Okay, so it's 4. So let me try and multi-speaker. I think I don't know what multi-speaker does. Blah blah blah. And then let me go back to immersive and see if that fixed it. And we'll go down to that one there. Did I pick it? There we go.
The Curse of Halloween.
Ooh.
And did that fix it?
Yeah, but now we're not inside the TV.
Oh no! Help! Wait, why am I seeing just my background?
Yeah, we're back to the way it was before.
Yep, it's back to the way it was. That's weird. All right, so I'm just gonna go to multi-speaker. Yeah, stop immersive for everyone. All right.
I liked the TV.
That's so weird. I don't know why it did that. But of course my background is stupid. I'm gonna change my background. It's for the wrong show. I can't do that.
Oh, it's for the wrong show.
Oh, it
I
is.
just noticed
Is it
that,
now?
yeah.
I was just about to say, it's not stupid. And you said it's for the wrong show. I was like, oh,
Yeah. Let me see if I have a cool
oh,
one I can just
that.
put up real quick. Come on.
I like Michael's background. That's pretty
There
cool.
you go.
It's very eerie.
I'm terrified of being in the woods at night.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a
Well,
good
while
one.
Rigor is working out the technical difficulties, let us discuss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let us discuss Salem's Lot, the remake that they turned into a movie that should have gone to films that came to Cinemax. Well, no, Max. I'm sorry. Did you
Did
guys?
that already? That's already out. Geez, I didn't even realize that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it actually. Well, I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it wasn't so long. Like I just remember like as a kid, like you remember like when you were a kid, like when like your brothers and shit, they show you stuff and you're like, okay, this is cool, but it's so long. Like speed it up. And boy, did they speed it up. But I think that might be like a bone of contention for some people. If you watch this movie, but I think it's like a perfect reintroduction for like the, younger generation to familiarize themselves with it. But it's so good. It's so good.
I haven't seen it. I can't really
I haven't seen
comment
it
on it.
either.
And that was going to be one of my other mentions for favorite Halloween movie was Salem's Lot. And because I think
I
it's like the
I
scariest
I
thing I've ever seen.
remember being shown that as a kid and it being scary, but being scary like it took too long to get scary.
Um,
Like it took too long to get scary, but like but it's because it was a mini series, I guess sort of like the same
uh,
with
Which
it,
one?
Salem's Lot.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they did a good job of condensing it down, to make it like a movie. They changed some characters to make it a little more modern. They swapped out some characters and one of the main characters in the story is black, which I thought was interesting. And the town is a little more empty in this one too, I feel like.
more empty.
I mean,
That's
it's
funny.
like almost like it was dead in the miniseries, but it's like really dead.
That's
Like,
funny. All right, Dantes, why don't you tell us what when October hits, what movies do you say, oh my God, I gotta watch these right,
oh
this
man,
month.
don't make me do it because then it's gonna make me seem like I'm like some big fucking wuss because of the shit that I watch. Um, so
Halloween Town, Hocus
So
Pocus, we all know.
Casper,
Yeah.
Casper, of course. Like I have to talk about Casper. Don't judge me. A late '80s baby, and we got that special place in my heart for Casper and his bulbous head. Like I really love that movie. Um, of course, Hocus Pocus. Since you mentioned it, that's that's a staple there.
I
Um,
hate Bette Midler, so I can't stand that movie.
You know what? I did not try and partake in the madness of the second one because, being an adult, I can't sit through that shit now. You know. Uh, but so we have that there. But like serious like Halloween movies, like I am all about, my Nightmare on Elm Street. I have already pulled out my collector's edition DVD set of like all of them. I really, really enjoy. Oh my God. Silent Hill, which was a horrible movie, but I still enjoy it. I just like the monster as he peels the flesh off of those poor townspeople.
I love that movie. I think it's just a
Oh,
visual treat.
yeah, I think we might be like the only two people in the universe, Rigor, who actually like that
He
movie.
was giving them a chemical peel.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like it was really scary. Um, Other Halloween movies that I can think of, God, there's just so many. There's just so many that I could name. Um, all the Halloween movies, of course. I actually just showed Halloween to my nephew for the first time, and I showed him the original Halloween, and that boy almost peed in his pants. Like
You're a good uncle.
I felt proud, guys. I felt like I did my due diligence. Like I just, it was like there were no lights in the house at all, like nothing, no lights, no. I took away the damn phone because these kids like to
Yeah.
Google the movie before they watch it, and I'm like, you're
Yeah.
not,
Right.
you're not gonna do that. We're gonna watch this together. I'm gonna get popcorn. We're gonna have treats, and he was really, really like thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly scared. I still think the first one is my favorite though. I love the first Halloween. That's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't yeah. Um that's it for now. I could go on and on and on and on and on, but I feel like I need to pass it to the next box.
Right, Michael.
I will definitely go along with the original Halloween. Um, there just part of the fact that the original Halloween, part of it takes place during the day, where they're like anticipating Halloween night coming, and for some reason, there's something about that that always gets me. I don't know, just in the mood. It's not like pure horror movie from beginning to end. It's like her going about her day and trying to plan like how she's gonna. I don't know. There's something about it that it's just something, nostalgic, I guess. And of course, the first Nightmare on Elm Street. That's always going to be in my faves. And for me, another big one is Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
Um,
That's a good choice.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. Fucking
the
yes.
movie Sleepy Hollow,
Oh.
the legend of Sleepy Hollow for me has always been a big thing. Like when I was a kid, they used to make us
Love
watch those animated movies every year, and I always loved. I couldn't wait for that whole Ichabod Crane sequence with the screaming Headless Horseman and that whole thing, and it was so shut. And in my mind, it was this big, long, amazing thing. But then when I grew up, I realized it was just this little short, little scene. But anyway, I love that whole thing, and I do like the Tim Burton movie Sleepy Hollow,
Yeah.
even though they did change a lot of stuff, and they messed around with the story a little bit, but
It's
it just has the perfect dark. It has the background that I have now of like the creepy woods, like
that's
that
what it reminds me of. Yeah.
Yeah.
that feel to me. That's Halloween, and that like I always think of that, and plus the whole thing of the pumpkin, the flaming pumpkin. I always picture, anytime I
Yeah.
see a jack-o'-lantern, I think of Sleepy Hollow. So
Sleepy Hollow is like the perfect gothic. I call it like that's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful dark film. Like it's so fucking dark. I love it. Like
yeah.
the sets. I love the shadows. There's not a lot of light in that film either. When you think about it, it's not like
There really isn't. Yeah.
there's none. Like I love it. It's so dark. Oh, I
But
gotta
it's very cartoonish too. It's very like
Right.
hyper color, hyper real, just like
Mhm.
the best Tim Burton films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell happened to Beetlejuice 2? Jesus. Ugh.
I think I loved Beetlejuice too.
I
Oh my
didn't-
God. I freaking loved that movie. I thought it was
It was
better than the
okay.
first one.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Thank you for agreeing. It was just okay. It's hard to capture it. Look, what he did was almost as bad as what the fuck Axl Rose did. Okay,
Ugh.
you make fucking people wait 30 years for your shit, and then come back and the shit be all fucking lackluster. Like I was just like,
Chinese democracy.
yes,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
the movie felt like. The movie felt like it was just a sad attempt by the fucking movie company to say, you know what, let's cash in on the nostalgia, but let's not bring back the stars of the original, for God's sake. We don't want to have that nice vibe we had before.
Well, you can't kind of bring Alec Baldwin because of that whole gun thing. You can't bring back what's his name, the guy that was
Jeffrey
the father,
Jones.
because
Jeffrey
he's a
Jones.
pedophile. So they had to animate him in the movie.
I loved how they did bring him back too. Like
I
they had
like
him
yeah,
cut in half.
animation. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Well,
But
I felt
I-
let down though.
I loved the Soul Train sequence. I like, oh my God,
That was
if I ended
amazing.
up going down there, I want to be on the Soul Train.
Even with a Don Cornelius conductor, that was the best part.
That was awesome. I just rewatched Disco Godfather a month ago. I was like, I was
Oh,
in the
wow.
mood for it. And
You know what?
the best though, hold on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but the best was they were playing MacArthur Park, and every time I get to the action kind of instrumental piece, Willem Dafoe's got his gun and he's running around. He runs behind one pole, then he runs behind another pole, and then it cuts away to the regular music, and then it cuts back to the action scene, and he's still running around hiding. It's like the best.
I have live Halloween sound effects here, by the way. There's a storm. So
Oh, geez.
if I go away suddenly, that's why. We got
Oh, good.
sound.
Okay, we'll know that you were just blown away by a storm.
You got hit by
Oh, I
it.
like that pumpkin. It reminds me of candy corn. Oh,
Andy Cohen, that's a
Right.
Halloween thing. So I'm gonna what's his name? What's your name there? Dantes, you said this already. And I'm gonna go. I know it does sound cliched, but Halloween 1981. Let me know if you can see
yeah.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
that so
Yep.
much.
that. For me is Halloween. Ever since, all right, I came home from trick-or-treating that night. I knew it was on at 9 o'clock, and I was rushing in to see it. And I just remember like jumping to the floor, back then when you had the big console TVs, I could lie on my knees and watch the show. And I remember just watching the Halloween with my grandmother. And ever since then, I've always wanted to I always tried to watch it on Halloween. There are in recent years,
Yeah.
last couple of decades, it hasn't been that easy. So I'll make sure I watch it like beforehand at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, that to me
Was that the first time you saw it?
no, I had seen it in the movies,
Why
but
don't we stream it? We should like do like a stream, like a Halloween streamed show, like where we live stream the movie. And
Oh, that's
yeah, we'd have to get the rights to it. That's the
Yeah.
only thing.
oh yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, I was 11. I remember that's all I could think about. I'm like, yeah, candy, but I want to go. I want to see Halloween because I hadn't seen it since in the movies.
I watched it with my babysitter that night. It was
That's
amazing.
so
God.
cliche. That's so movie-ish right there. Were you scared?
No, I had seen it already, but she was afraid, and that's what I was most. I had it somewhere. There's a cassette recording of us watching it, and you can hear the movie on in the background. And I used to listen to that all the time just to relive the movie. And she was really afraid, and almost like I think half an hour before the movie was over, she left. And she said she was afraid to walk home. And when she got home, she turned it on, and she was even more afraid because she was alone.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I also think of the Friday the 13th movies. Those always often came out in October.
Don't forget too that the TV version of Halloween had extra scenes in it.
That's right.
Because they made Halloween 2 at the same time. The night this was on TV, it was the night that Halloween 2 debuted in theaters, which was October 30th, 1981.
Yes.
And after NBC made all the cuts to Halloween for violence and sexual content, etc., there was all this extra time. So John Carpenter shot extra scenes to put into the TV version of Halloween that linked it to Halloween 2. Because one of them had a scene where he writes "sister" on the wall in the sanitarium. And I'm like, could that be Laurie?
That's funny. Because I always had that scene in my head, and I thought it was one of those Mandela effects. I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't there a scene where the sister was on the wall?
There sure was.
That's funny. That's funny. I do always think of the Friday the 13th movies too. I have to watch at least the first 4 and part 6, although we just kind of covered part 6 recently. I think it was maybe on Then Is Now. But then I'm going to go through these a little bit real quick here. This is from 81, the day after Halloween. I remember watching Abbott and Costello Go to Mars and Fantastic Voyage. Oops. Oh, yeah. And of course, 1981, you had to have Luke and Laura's wedding.
Oh my God. It reverberates the generations later.
30 million viewers. It was the highest rated daytime show ever.
Wow.
People left work, or they, closed down their businesses and arranged their college schedules around General Hospital. And when this happened, almost everything shut down so people could watch it.
That's so messed up.
I know. And what's funny, I wanted to mention, it reminded me, there was a young guy who was on the show, Nicholas Chavez, for the last couple of years, and he left earlier this year, and he's now starring as Lyle Menendez in a Netflix show called Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story. I don't know if you guys remember the Menendez brothers who killed their parents.
Yeah.
It's you got to watch it. It's fucked up. It's only, I forget how many episodes. It's not very many, but it's creepy as hell. It's in the acting. You could see why they picked this kid, because he's really good. What else we got here? Oh yeah, Greatest American Hero, Ralph. I think this is the one where he gets the instruction manual.
The
instruction manual. I always hated the end of that episode too, because he loses it again.
It loses it again. Yeah.
I just could never get into that.
Right away.
Killer Grizzly was on October 30th on Channel 38 in Boston. 15-foot carnivorous bear terrorizing a national park in Georgia. Christopher George. Oh, this is Grizzly.
Grizzly, yeah.
15-foot.
They called it Killer Grizzly on TV.
Killer Grizzly is kind of redundant, but I guess they thought for TV that was okay.
Yeah.
It just sound like a TV movie. That's funny. Yeah, Richard Jekyll, Andrew Prine. I forgot what a great cast is in that. We're gonna have to do that, and the Day of the Animals, and maybe a couple others, because all right, let's see. Oh, and here, this is what I was going to get into the TV thing.
Yes.
I always think of Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
I just watched it.
Yes,
the Blu-ray.
Oh, really?
Nice.
I might watch that this evening, actually.
That's awesome.
That'll
I
be
try
good.
not to buy DVDs or Blu-rays of the holiday shows, like the Rudolph ones and the Charlie Brown ones, because I feel like I should just watch them at that time of year and then not again. So if I can catch it on TV or record it, that's how I
Yeah.
approach it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
But no, I think it's probably good. I mean, are there any cool extras on the Blu-ray?
Yeah, there's a whole other show called It's Magic Charlie Brown or something like that. I never watch it. And I think there's two discs too. I don't even know what's on the other one. I've only ever watched the TV show, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, but it looks fabulous, of course, because it's a Blu-ray. The only thing that I really wish they would have included and they didn't, there's some deleted footage from this program, and it's just a little snippet of the opening credits because the Charlie Brown Peanuts specials used to be sponsored by Dolly Madison and Coke.
Oh yeah.
And
Um,
there's yeah, in the pumpkin field in the beginning when they're doing the opening credits, there's the owl flies towards the camera and that's the end of it. It
Yeah,
goes on longer than that, and you see other
really?
vignettes of them in the cornfield, and it says sponsored by Dolly Madison and Coke. So you can see it on YouTube if you want
that's
to watch it.
funny.
I'm big into physical media, so I'll probably end up buying it.
That's hilarious. Oh, here we go. All right, so we got some comments here.
Hmm.
Yeah, we fixed the Zoom. WNUF fans. I think that must be a TV station, right?
No, it's called the WNUF Halloween special, and it's like a found footage style Halloween thing where a TV broadcast starts to get like scary, like something scary starts to happen on it. It's worth looking up. It's pretty good. The WNUF Halloween special, it's called.
Cool. Cool. That's awesome. There's one from England, and of course I can't think of the name of it, but it was they did it like a real newscast. People thought it was real, and it was supposed to be a live ghost hunt. And things were happening in the background, and people at home
Yeah.
were watching it, thinking it was real. That was the newscasters that were in this thing, and they were phoning in, calling the police, and everything. It just went crazy, I guess.
Wow. Sounds
I'll
like
have to look
War of
that
the
up.
Worlds or something.
That's what I
Yes.
just thought. Yeah, I'm like, that's
Which
Yeah.
that was also a Halloween broadcast. The original War of the Worlds that Orson Welles did that got everyone so upset. That I think that was on Halloween night.
Yep, I think you're right.
Oh, wow.
That's funny. So, Bill, what other TV shows do you think of when you think of Halloween?
I made this like super mashup cut a couple of years ago. It's 11 hours of Halloween programming. It's all in one gigantic file. It's like 41 gigs.
wow.
But it's like you could just put it on in the background is what I intended for it. It's just like as if you had your TV on all day and all you see are Halloween episodes of I have the Halloween episode of the Brady Bunch where they find, they go and sleep in the attic and the girls have that ghost rigged up that comes out of the chest. And I have the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
Ooh, that sounds funny. I'd love to get my hands on that.
It's on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Oh,
It's
wow.
That's
really
awesome.
weird. I think it was one of Kiss's first TV appearances. It's from 1976.
Okay.
Oh,
I
wow.
think Kiss had only ever done one other appearance on TV. And everyone's on it. Betty White, Florence
Oh,
Henderson,
it's Henderson.
Witchy Pooh from HR
Oh, yes.
Puff and Stuff, Margaret Hamilton, the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yep.
Good stuff. Paul
I
Lynde
think I saw
Halloween.
that recently. Now that you mentioned it, when you mentioned Witchy Poo, I was like, wait a minute, I think I watched that. That's-
So there's that. Halloween TV. I don't know. I mean, everybody did it. There was always a Halloween episode, like The Simpsons, Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, that's definitely
Oh, the Simpsons
thankful
Treehouse of
every
Horror.
year for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Every
Yes.
year. Every year.
Yes. That was so good. I had a roommate years ago who was obsessed with The Simpsons, and we used to watch. And then there was some channel that did like a Treehouse of Horror marathon around that time, and we would just watch them end to end,
That's cool.
But you know what?
Cool.
It's
I've only
reminding
seen a
me.
handful of them.
You've only seen what? A handful of them?
A handful of them, yeah.
Yeah, they're funny.
Tough to catch up.
The we were talking about Halloween episodes, and for some reason it just jumped into my head. Buffy, the first. This is not when I was a child, but Buffy, I think it was the first year when they did a Halloween episode. It was somebody had cast some kind of a spell where whatever you dressed up as for Halloween, if you got your costume from a specific shop, you turned into that thing, whatever it was. And I always thought that was such a brilliant concept. I was like, what? That's such a great idea. You know? Yeah.
That's awesome. So, Mike Hill, what other Halloween shows do you think of?
God, Halloween shows do I think of? I'm kind of boring on this one. I'm not really. I mean, Buffy jumped into my head. Um, I think pretty much like Bill was saying, and whatever show I watched, or any shows I was watching. Of course, when I was a kid growing up, I watched a lot of stuff with my sisters too. So it was like the three of us had to agree on what to watch on TV, a lot of times. So whatever the Halloween episode was for that given show, it would always be fun to do that. And then even though Scooby-Doo was always on, Saturday mornings anyway, it just had a special meaning around Halloween. I always thought Scooby-Doo, and the fact that the bad guys were most of the time just regular people pretending to be monsters, and they take off the mask at the end. You damn kids.
It was bullshit.
It was bullshit.
That's funny.
They made us believe the cockadoodie thing. Oh, Dantes, what about you?
Gosh, I don't know of any like specific like Halloween like episodes, but as far as like TV shows that I watch during this time of year, I think of like the X-Files, like for Halloween, stuff like that. Um, I like Rose Red. That's a good one. That was a mini series.
Yeah.
Stephen King. I love anything where there's stubborn people who want to go in a house and figure out if there's some fucking activity or not. I'm like, you want to be a jackass and go in here and look for ghost bitch. I hope you find what you're looking for. So yes, I love stuff like that. Uh, Twin Peaks. I think of Twin Peaks. Um, just because of like the music. Also, one other thing too would be probably these aren't TV shows though, but I can't have a Halloween without at least one Michael Jackson project. And there's like two that are like mandatory, like at this time of year, and that would be Thriller, and then there would be Michael Jackson's fucking Ghost. So yes, like
Was the second one Michael Jackson's Ghost?
yeah, Michael Jackson's Ghost. It came out in 1997. And I don't know if it was intended to be like a follow-up to like Thriller, but Stan Winston put his like fucking foot in he made Michael like into this. It's just weird. Like you got to see Michael go from like the crazy, like, weird like town jester to like paying like a fat white ass man to like just amazing. Like I'm being serious. And by like the middle of like the movie, like he's in like full skeleton, like moonwalking, dancing, and like it's
Oh,
really
wow.
I mean, it's very cutting edge, I think, at least for like its time. Like I just love Stan Winston, and that was
Huh.
it's such a like you guys should really watch that. Like even if you're not like big Michael Jackson fans, like you can like it was made at the time like when computer effects were starting to become, so dominant, and there was like that leftover from the practicality of old Hollywood, so you get a lot of like the old makeup and monsters. It kind of has like that old Universal like 1930s feel to it. It's really good, really good.
What's it called again?
Michael Jackson's Ghosts.
Michael Jackson's Ghost. I'm gonna write that down.
It still behooves me though that Michael Jackson every time he chose to be another race, he always chose to be a fat white man, which I don't understand. But I look, I'm not gonna go there, but I just know I'm older now, and I just look at stuff now a little differently.
Yeah.
Just kind of like I'm like,
Why?
why, why
I'm
would you morph into that? You
I'm
know,
not sure where it's okay to go talking about Michael Jackson, so I'm not saying anything
it's
I
about
know,
how
yeah.
look. Hey, I'm black here. If there's anyone
You
who,
are?
I mean, with a little makeup, I could look that color too. I mean, I'm just saying, when I get ready for work, I go for the dark fucking makeup. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I don't go and purposefully choose the foundation that's 4 shades lighter. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, there's a great movie that I just watched recently for it's really old, but you can watch it on for free on Internet Archive. Rigor, you've probably seen this. Dr. X
Oh yeah,
from 1932,
yeah.
starring Lionel Atwill,
Humphrey
Fay
Bogart.
Wray,
Oh, Lionel Atwell. That's right. Yeah.
Okay,
and
write that one down.
yeah, it's fucking amazing, and it's like it's pre-code, like before the Hays Code and before they started censoring all these like hot topics. Like it talks about prostitution, drug abuse, cannibalism. I mean, it's just like there's a lot of stuff that they make reference to in this movie that you never could have talked about years later, and it's in color.
Hmm.
Right.
Even though it's from 1932, it's in beautiful Technicolor.
Technicolor, baby.
Yeah, it's amazing. I highly recommend it. And it's spooky. It's like in a dark, spooky mansion. It's sort of like steampunkish, this
Ooh.
mansion
Okay,
that
wait a minute. I'm gonna have to make sure I write this down. Repeat that, Bill.
Dr. X.
Did I just drop the phone? What the heck?
I dropped mine a minute ago. I lost track of the chat.
And is it the sequel?
I'll be
Is
right.
Return of Dr. X with Humphrey Bogart in the role?
I
That's
have to
right.
watch
I've
this.
never
This sounds
seen it.
really good, guys. Okay. I'm excited about
Oh.
that. I love films from that time. Okay. Okay, Bill. One more time. What was it
Dr.
called?
X.
Dr. X. Cool.
Lionel Atwill, Fay Wray, 1932. I'll just send you a link where you can watch
Yeah.
it on the Internet Archive.
Okay.
Free.
Yeah. Because I was just going to look it up in the Just Watch app too, just to see.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Dr.
find because somebody has a fake file on there. It's actually a movie, a really super low budget science fiction movie about a man-eating giant Venus flytrap. That's
Okay.
not the Dr. X that I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, I have to make sure I get the link from you then so I don't watch the wrong one.
Here we go. Dr. X. It's on Apple. It's on Copex. I have that subscription. And it's on Amazon, but you got to pay for it to.
Alt picks.
Yeah.
Can I subscribe to that through Xfinity?
I don't know off the top of my head. I have it on my Roku, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's like $5 a month or something.
You
But
say
yeah,
it
you
like
mentioned
French, Roku.
Gesundheit.
Roku,
What'd you say, Bill?
Roku, the Polynesian. You say it like a French word.
Oh, Roku. Every little Roku seems to go up my nose. I don't know what I'm saying.
Le Pew.
I have become Charles Boyd once more. So yeah, Thriller. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Those are always my favorites. I always look forward to. Michael, you brought up when TV shows always had a Halloween episode, and I always got disappointed if they didn't do one.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, you're right. Because it was always something to look forward to every year.
Yeah,
Because they always do the Christmas one. There was always a Christmas episode. So it's
Yes.
like you can't disrespect Halloween. You gotta do a Halloween episode. If you're gonna do a
Thank
Christmas
you.
episode, you gotta do a Halloween episode. Come on.
right.
And
I mean,
just
even like
remember,
the Hardy
yeah.
Boys one where they met Frankenstein and the Wolfman and Dracula.
Oh
My God, yeah, because I remembered like in the 90s, like every TV show, it didn't matter what holiday it was, they had a corresponding show that dealt with it. Like even the most like I remember even Martin. Like I remember you guys remember that show Martin from the 90s, the like the
Yeah.
I remember it. I never watched it, but yeah.
like I remember like they even had a Halloween episode where like they went to this party and like all of the statues came to life and
I saw that one. Yeah, I remember that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but they like, gosh, like I don't even think like regular TV like do they still do stuff like that on regular
Sure.
TV?
They've got to.
Mike Hill's shaking his head like no.
Well, I mean, I shouldn't say I'm not saying that they never do, but nowadays, because
Just
of
no.
the seasons being you can binge them whenever you want kind of thing, it's like they're not necessarily going to be watching the Halloween episode on the week of Halloween or whatever.
Yeah,
That's messed things up a
Yeah.
little bit, I think.
sure, right.
Someone,
Yeah.
by the way, Laura on our Facebook page wrote that the show I was trying to recall was called Ghost Watch. So we'll have to look that one
Ghost
up. I think it might be on YouTube. I'm not sure. But I always think of the Halloween, the Happy Days Halloween episode too. I always
Oh
remember
my
that one.
God.
Oh wow, happy days.
What about the Gilligan's Island Halloween
Yes.
episode?
I love that where the guy's like the ghost and he's running in slow motion and it's the stereotypical sheet over the body with the two black eyes, but it works. It's like, it's really scary.
Well, no, I was thinking of the one where Gilligan gets bitten by a fruit bat and dreams that
yes.
he's a vampire.
That's right. Yeah.
And he
He goes,
imagines
I'll go
like,
hide in the alcove and there's a crash and he comes
we
back.
don't have an
He goes,
alcove.
We don't have an alcove. I love those. Those are all on Tubi, by the way. If you want to check them out, I'd love watching those.
I'm looking at it now.
My favorite one is the one where Vito Scotti shows up as the mad scientist, which he makes 2 appearances in 2 different episodes. But there's the one where he lures them all to his island with the promise of escape to the mainland, and he's switching all their brains. So it's like Ginger and Igor have different brains. Excuse me.
Bless you.
The Ghost of Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts. That's always a movie.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes. When I was a kid, we used to watch that all the time. Oh my
Yeah.
God, The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. Yes.
I have that on DVD. I love that movie.
Oh my God.
I've got crazy dogs upstairs, so if you're wondering what that noise is in the background.
I thought of
Uh-huh.
another Halloween movie too that was I think the original War of the Worlds broadcast on radio, where everyone thought Martians were really taking over the Earth. I think that was October 30th of whatever year it was. And in 1994, on October 30th, there was a TV movie called Without Warning.
Okay.
Does anybody remember that?
Yeah.
Not the one with, not the theatrical film with the alien and then a lampshade for a head.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Now this one was from 94, and it was another War of the Worlds style disaster movie where it starts off as a soap opera or something, and then they keep cutting in with these special bulletins about shards of an asteroid that have hit parts of the Earth. And then of course there's a big asteroid that's coming for us, and like they keep coming with these. They just switch over to total coverage of the asteroid and this like life-ending event that's going to happen. And again, people were freaking out and calling the TV station, and even though it said
Wow.
this is not
Yeah.
real, it's not a real thing.
People don't bother.
I would love for them to actually do like a serious film adaptation of that does not have Tom Cruise involved at all.
Yeah,
Like
or Dakota Fanning.
or Dakota Fanning. Yes,
I like the what year was the first movie they made of War of the Worlds? What was that, in the 50s or something?
53, I think, or
Yeah.
54.
53. I like that. I really like that
Yeah.
version. I think that's really a good version.
that one with Tom Cruise, man, it almost ruined it for me. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
movie.
mind that one. I enjoy that one. I saw that on the big screen when it came out, and I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would.
Yeah, it's okay. It's this. I got
I didn't
I got
hate it.
excited when I heard that it was going to be War of the Worlds. I got really excited, and then I was
It
not.
just has a habit of ruining classic properties. Do I need to talk about The Mummy?
Ew.
Yeah. That
One
was-
thing I always think of at Halloween time, and I when I have them right now, they're packed away, but I'll pull them out. Is I have VHS recordings from AMC. They would play the Universal horror movies and a bunch of others, and Linda Blair hosted them one year in
I
the
remember that.
90s.
Oh, I
Yeah,
do remember those. Yeah,
and I recorded all those, and I love those. But that's another thing too that I was
have to
thinking
make me a tape and mail it.
time to start watching the Universal horror movies. So I'll always try and squeeze those in.
Yeah.
And then for me, what happens right after Halloween, my brain switches gears in anticipation of Thanksgiving. All of a sudden, I watch Mystery Science Theater. If I'm not watching soap operas for work, I got Mystery Science Theater on. I just binge on that all month.
Why is that a Thanksgiving
in the
thing?
background while I'm cooking? What?
Why is that a Thanksgiving thing?
Because they always used to do the Turkey Day marathon because the movies they watch are turkeys.
Oh, I didn't know.
So it'll be, how much turkey can you stomach?
Now I understand.
Oh my gosh, that's a good. You know what? I think we got next month's topic. We should do horror Thanksgiving related films.
Ooh. We should if you guys haven't seen Thanksgiving.
How many are there besides Thanksgiving?
There's a number of them.
We can cover Christmas too. We're in that.
Really?
We're in that time of year.
Christmas, there's Christmas horror movies, but
we did kind of cover Christmas ones one Christmas, but there's still plenty more. But with Thanksgiving, we definitely have to watch Thanksgiving, and also there's another one that was almost as good. It was it came out on streaming around the same time, and it was basically these people end up having these Thanksgiving cosplayers come over their house. And then it just gets out of control from there. It's really fucked up. I'll have to look that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one.
The one I always think of for Thanksgiving is Blood Freak.
Oh yes.
Have you ever seen Blood Freak?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
It's from 72. It's like a really ultra low budget regional horror movie where this guy, I forget how it happens, but he eats some kind of weird injected turkey and turns into a turkey monster, and he has like a turkey monster head, and he kills drug addicts because he's addicted to the blood of drug addicts. He hangs them upside down in a barn and slits their throats open and drinks their blood.
Wow.
It's really intense.
Well, that's
sort of.
Yeah,
we'll have to realize there was a turkey monster horror movie. I stand corrected.
It's terrifying.
There's a horror movie for every season.
Yeah. And there's a bunch
slasher too, Home Sweet Home, with that guy that used to do the he was like a TV exercise guru. I forget his name, but he's like an Italian. No, not Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons.
His name.
Jack LaLanne.
It's time for a turkey horror movie. No, this guy, I forget his name, but he was like sort of an Italian looking dude, and he's a big muscle bound guy, and he's a murderer in Home Sweet Home. It's good stuff.
Not Lyle Alzado.
No, I love Lyle Alzado. Oh my god, I had such a thing for Lyle Alzado. That's the only. Do you know how like straight guys used to take their dad's Playboys into the bathroom? I took Sports Illustrated with Lyle Alzado in it.
Jeez. Oh, a little TMI.
Oh, come on. It's that kind of show. Don't kid yourself.
I know. One of our fans, Frank Palvino, he said that, and he brought up a good point. Treehouse of Horror always played after the 31st. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's right. Yeah. It would always kind of tick me off too, because that would be like, you come home from school, you'd flip that fucking remote on, and you'd be like, where's my Treehouse of Horror? And you'd have to watch some fucking football until next week.
Yeah. I hate that. I grabbed a couple of my records here just because I've been oh my God. So I know this is not a big deal to anybody else on the planet but me, but for the first time in my 54 years on this planet, my records are organized.
Ooh,
they're all broken up into categories.
Oh my God.
It's been a lifetime coming, so it finally happened. But I don't know if you guys can see this. It's kind of
this is like the conversation that I had with my sister earlier. The joys of getting older, guys, like the things we care about.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch this light on here because I'm
like that is like harmonious balance there. That and some fine drapes from the bedding store.
I agree.
Oh, here we go. Ooh, I almost had it.
Yeah, almost. This is our.
Well, it's green screen. You have to turn.
Yeah, we don't see anything.
Oh yeah, let me turn my background off, dear.
Hold it in front of your face, maybe, or maybe that won't help.
It almost looked like a record player, like you were holding the record player up outside the window trying to get you.
Yeah, it's hold on, let's take it off. It's just my background sucks
There
because
we
It's
go.
okay.
but this is
Ooh, I
Oh,
thought that's what I was seeing there.
man,
My
oh,
God.
that's
there we
beautiful.
go. Make them die slowly, also known as Cannibal Fear.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a
That's from
beauty right there.
Grindhouse releasing too.
Can
Yeah.
you flip it around so we can see the back?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Cannibals right there.
Ish.
Wow.
Too disgusting to watch, too bizarre to resist. The original motion picture soundtrack by Buddy Malioni.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
I wonder if I can show you this one now with the light because I couldn't get it before. But this is a little hard to see because the
Oh,
reflection of my
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
monitor, but it's only left alive, and that's
Okay.
I love this movie. This movie is like next to Blade Runner. It does for me for horror what Blade Runner does for science fiction.
Yeah, it's good.
A visual treat. And that of course was Loki himself, Tom Hiddleston. No, yeah, Tom Hiddleston. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then oh yeah, this one's not really horror,
Oh,
but I
goodness.
just love this record.
I
Can't believe
love
I
that
saw something.
cover.
It's like a fold open one.
Oh,
Oh, a gatefold.
that's beautiful.
That's cool. I can't even get it. Oh, there we go.
That's a beauty.
The back has some pictures and stuff like that. And let's see. Oh yeah, speak of the devil. As I crash, boom, bang, everything. Of course, you have to have Blade.
Is that a picture
My
disc?
all-time favorite.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Blade Runner.
Yeah, yeah, it's a picture disc.
That's nice.
Oh, Mike Hill's totally missing all this.
He's vanished into the woods. They
oh
came
yeah,
to take him away. They took him away. I don't know what happened.
we'll take it. You know what? Why don't we take a break, a 5 minute break?
All right.
Because I need to take a break anyways. Then we'll come back and I can re-show Mike Hill those things. So
Okay.
Oh, there's Mike Hill there. Okay.
Mike Hill, we're going to take a 5 minute break because I showed a couple of things and you missed them. So, oh, you're muted. Okay. All right. So share. Oops. That's all right. Okay, folks, I'm back, and the others will be up. There's Michael. Excellent.
Yo.
Yo. Well, while I've got you here, Michael, I was showing some record covers, and did you see
The one you were showing the I saw
Cannibal?
the Tilda Swinton one.
Yes. All right, so I showed that one, but then I also showed this one, like a picture
Ah,
disc too. I don't know if you can't really see it with the reflection of my,
yeah,
but it's
nice.
awesome. And then this one was really cool. It's not really horror, but it's Shogun Assassin.
Oh wow,
And
that's cool.
what's really neat is the when you open it up. See if I can
Oh,
get this.
nice,
That's so cool.
nice.
And then they got some black and white pictures on the back. I always
Cool.
love that story of lone wolf and cub.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I was just like I said, I already told everyone I organized my records, but nobody cares, so I don't know why.
That's pretty good though. I mean, it's very easy for something like that to be like, oh, I'll get to it, and then never get to it, and then you finally did it. That's a big deal.
Yeah. And it's like I've got them broken down. I'm not going to go into the categories, but like for example, easy listening, it's like this many records. It's huge. It's like in 3 different places. Well, Bill is not back yet, but I'll go with this next one because I'm sure he doesn't watch it anyways. I think my daughter gave this to me for Christmas one
Stranger
year.
Things.
Yeah. Which have you guys seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Oh, I have, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love the show. I can't wait for the new season.
Is it now? That's the soundtrack
Yeah, and I think
for
it's from just the first season.
season one.
Uh, Will singing, The Clash, it's dialogue, Twist of Fate, Olivia Newton-John. I wonder if this has what's that oh my God, my brain is not working. The Bon Jovi, they did the Runaway when she ran away. I'm just
Oh,
wanted to see if that was on here. Oh, there it is. Yep, side C. It's got Whip It by Devo. You Don't Mess Around with Jim by Jim Croce. I remember you did that for
woohoo!
karaoke one year, Mike.
That's my mainstay karaoke song.
Mine is the When the Moon Hits Your Eye Like a Big Pizza Pie.
That's amore. I remember seeing you do that, perform that song.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, you don't mess around with Jim. That's my standby.
I got some other cool ones. They're not all horror, but this I think of all my records is probably one of the best covers. And it's the color's not doing it justice here, but I mean look at that painting.
That's beautiful.
That's amazing.
I still argue that this is probably perhaps the greatest frogman battle in the history of motion pictures. Thunderball, such a great movie. And then this one I got a few years ago. I think it was like a special release. The Girl in the Gold Boots.
Oh my God, that movie is amazing.
Isn't it?
You love it?
Yeah, oh, I love it. I had to have the soundtrack to it. Girl and Gold. I'm not doing it right. There we go. And this is it's a Ted Michaels film, which I was in contact with him for a little while back when I was starting the Fright channel, but that's a story for another day. Oh, and this one is a favorite of mine. It's John Zacherle's Monster Mash. For those who don't know, he was the first male horror TV host. I think Vampiro was before him. And was beloved right up until he died in his 90s, I think. Not too long ago, right? Within the past decade, Bill?
I think so.
It was relatively recently, surprisingly recently.
Yeah. So, and then, this one, I always loved this one at Halloween. I always loved pulling this one out. This was Monster Mash, Sounds of Terror.
Oh, yes, I remember that. I remember you taking that out and playing that.
I want to record all these because it's like The Mummy's Revenge and Jack the Ripper and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh, he's got one too.
Sound, Oh, you do? Oh, nice.
I went and pulled a bunch of my Halloween records during the break to show.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, here's the challenge. Do you have this one? I used to get this one out of the library a lot. Chilling, thrilling sounds of the haunted house. Oh, that's awesome. We're going to show Michael. Look at this, Mike.
But yours is orange, right? With the spooky party hints. I also
Yes,
have an
yeah.
original from 64. And this was the original
Oh,
color.
you beat me.
Cover it was white.
Wow.
Same record.
That's,
Strangely,
and
not
you
very
said
Halloweenish. If you actually listen to the content of this record, there's one sound story sort of that's the haunted house, and the rest of it is just like trees being cut down and doors creaking open for 5 minutes. It's not terrifying. There was a second one though that came out after that. There was Chilling Thrilling Sounds of the Haunted House, the second version. And this is all horror, all Halloween. And this is my special cassette version that's still packaged in a 12 by 12 vinyl case, sort of, so that they could put it like with all the other records.
That's unbelievable. Oh my God.
Totally. Sorry, did you have more records to show, Roger?
No, I had Blackula, but I showed it last week, but I'll show it again just for the fans at home.
Oh my God. I love Blackula.
Oh my God, isn't that like the best soundtrack?
It's just amazing. I put it on and listen to it all the time. Gene Page.
Yes. We got a few before we go to your graphic, Bill. We've got a few comments here. David Caro is congratulating Dantes for hitting the charts. So congratulations, Dantes.
Yes.
And Frank said, since you're talking about soundtracks, Bill's got some great Halloween collections online.
He does.
Tell us more.
That's true. On my YouTube channel, Groovy Doom, I make usually I do a Halloween playlist every year, and I split it up into a couple videos so you can link them together and listen to the whole thing. There's all sorts of copyright issues with YouTube. Like, you're allowed to put stuff that's registered to be shared on YouTube, but if you put like 5 or 6 of them in the same video, it'll get shut down and no one will see it. So I split it into different parts. You can link them up and listen to it. And some of them actually, most of them have visuals that go along with the songs too. I really went out overboard last year, and I made like these weird, like psychedelic backdrops for each song. I don't, it's not like I was bored. I don't know why I did it, but Groovy Doom is my YouTube channel.
You were feeling groovy,
I guess.
Which, by the way, Michael, you did an awesome Ash costume one year.
Oh yeah. I had the
Evil
damnedest I had the hardest time trying to get the blood to stay put. Like, I guess I should have made the blood thicker because I wanted to make like scars and stuff on my face and like injuries and things, but it just I don't know, and plus it was hot inside the party, so it just kept oozing and dripping and dripping and oozing, and it's just like no matter what I did, I just looked like shit. I looked like a guy like a thrown out of a plane or something, who just happened to have a chainsaw for a hand.
So I just want to jump in and say, David, by the way, amended his comment. He congratulated both of us, Dantes. Thank you, David, and thank you everybody who's chiming in. And feel free to tell us about your Halloween memories too, and we'll mention them on the air.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I'm gonna switch to this image that Bill sent me. Did I? Oh no, wait, hold on. I gotta open it up a different way. Here
oh, sorry, I had to make it complicated.
No, it's me. It's my OCD. I have to do things a certain way. So this is awesome. This is so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't. Did I share it?
No, it's not up yet.
All right, hold on. It would help if I shared.
Trust me, it's awesome.
Well, just believe me. It's really good.
Okay, we believe you.
All right, here we go.
Something's happening. There we go. Yeah. So this was from 1974, one of the many reissues of Chilling Thrilling Sounds of the Haunted House, which originally came out in 1964. So it had been around for a while. And I'm
Wow.
not sure how many times they pressed it between 64 and 74, but this one was it's the nice orange one that we both showed a minute ago. And this was the first one that I got. I remember walking into a drugstore with whatever adult I was with at the time, and I saw that display on the far right of the haunted house, and the records are all inside that box. And it just like captivated me. It was the first time I'd ever seen this cartoonish Halloween representation of a haunted house with a ghost coming out of it. And I was just transfixed. I was like, well, what is that thing? Like, why is it? I don't remember what I said for real, but there's someone had to explain to me what that was, a ghost, what a ghost was, right there in the middle of thrift drug. So, and I could never remember, like I just could not wrap my head around what that haunted house looked like because I was 4 years old when I saw this. And lo and behold, I was pulling ads for Haunt this year and I found this. And I was like, holy shit, it's that display that I remember seeing. And now I can finally see it again. Now I'm out to find one. I've got to find it. I want to own
Yeah.
it.
Those things become missions in life.
Mm-hmm.
And fill it with all my Halloween records.
While we're here, I have some pictures, I think still. This was from October 31st when they played Halloween in 82. This might have been the one because the other one was on the 30th. This might have been the one that I ran home to watch from trick-or-treating because it's on the actual 31st. And then Channel 38 played Friday the 13th. And the best part is presented with only 3 commercial interruptions. I remember they used to do that.
Amen.
And do you remember, Michael? They would play them uncut. There was like a period of time where they were showing movies, rated R movies, without cutting them at all. And The Powers of Matthew Starr was on too. Ooh.
They did that in Pittsburgh too, by the way, for Friday the 13th. It was a Chiller Theater episode.
Oh wow!
What's it called?
It was an episode of Chiller Theater.
Oh wow!
And it was in prime time, and Chilly Billy showed Friday the 13th uncut.
Awesome. That's so cool. I have part 2 uncut on Channel 38. I videotaped it. I have that on one of my tapes somewhere. And then there it is. That's a different city. Hold on, let me go back. I apologize. I don't know where that is. If anyone at home watching knows where WVIT is, let us know. I just don't have the DVD with
Friday the 13th.
And then this, I remember this. Some people believe their fate can be told from the turn of a tarot card. Join Vincent Price when TV4 unveils psychics who profess to have unusual powers for predicting the unknown. I don't know why I'm rolling my eyes.
Great actor. God.
Yeah.
So fantastic.
It's just
so fantastic.
Yeah. The triumvirate. It's Vincent Price, Peter Cushing, and Christopher Lee. They're just like the best.
Yeah.
We will never see their like again,
Price was in The Raven that I just saw last weekend.
That's right. And here we had Goblins, Ghoulies, and Ghosts. Boo! This is from 81, October of 81. I think I remember this. Yeah, because they played the Sleepy Hollow.
There's Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
There he is. There's the Headless Horseman. Wow.
What a great drawing. Look at that. Huh?
Yeah.
That is so cool. And then let's go to the next one. Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, which I have on Blu-ray. I think that just came out in the past year or two.
Yeah.
And I had to grab it because I love that movie. That's
it's another scary made for TV movie.
Yeah. That's Larry Drake. He was in he was the janitor, the slow janitor in, what was it, like LA Law or something?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah.
And he was the villain in
Benny or Barney.
Yeah.
He was a villain in Darkman, yeah.
Durant. Okay, what else we got here? Bugs Bunny, Halloween. I always remember the witch.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And Fat Albert. Love Fat
Albert.
I don't remember that. I have to go watch that again. I know I watched it several times. I just can't remember it.
Which one? The Fat Albert one?
Fat Albert one.
Yeah. That'll be a good revisit. I'll have to watch that. And then I'm going to share, if I can find it. Hold on. Actually, I've got to go. here first. And is this it? Nope, this is it. Hold on. I'm almost there. Very nearly ready. All right, hold on. So let me go back to here. This one goes here. That one goes there. Oh, right. This is so Bill, this is kind of similar to what you were talking about of see if this one is the right. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to share. I think I got to redo the share. Oh no, I can do it right here. There it is. So can everyone see this?
Mm-hmm. It's small.
Cinema?
But
This is from the Salem News, October 31st, 1970. There was a year. What year did I post this? 2021. Every day in October, I posted something that I clipped from newspaper or TV guide. And so there were all kinds. And Bill, if you want them, I can send you these files. Big Halloween party at the Golden Spike Club. At the Starlight Drive-In, they were playing. These are all, October 1970. Captain Nemo in the Underwater City with House of Dark Shadows and Devil's Bride. Is Devil's Bride the same as The Devil Rides Out?
Yeah, it's the same movie.
That's my favorite Hammer film. Well, actually, yeah, I will. And Vampire Circus comes in next. Then I had a couple of articles here. Well, I won't read those. Here we go. Scream, baby, scream. We dare you not to scream when you see Scream, baby, scream. Every time you hear the word scream, take a drink.
That's a very passive-aggressive challenge.
Yeah, that's a good. It really is.
Death Curse of
dare you not
Tattoo.
to scream.
Free coffee, cider, and donuts.
I know, huh? Also, free to the first 300 girls, a genuine skeleton necklace. It's from the Logan Daily News, wherever that is.
Genuine skeleton necklace made out of real bones.
Right. So I'll have fun on Halloween with the apostrophe in there. See that every once in a while.
Halloween.
We cannot tolerate defacing autos, soaping windows, destroying property. The police force will be reinforced for this occasion. You damn kids.
Hey, make it a nuisance of yourself.
Oh, and here's a Charlie Brown one. Oh, please, Great Pumpkin, please don't let me down. Vindicate me before mine enemies. Deliver me from my adversaries. Show up, stupid. Oops.
Oops. Sorry.
Witches, goblins, ghouls to roam the streets tonight. There's a lot of cool ads. I forget what this one is. Oh, Halloween parade. I don't remember this. Oh, in Anaheim. So I don't think this was nationally broadcast. Because do you guys ever remember watching a Halloween parade?
No. He looks good though.
Halloween parade. No.
I can't see it. It's too small.
Oh, here, let me zoom in.
I mean, I can see it, but I can't read what it is.
It's the 47th annual
Okay.
Halloween parade taped last night in Anaheim. Cartoon capers as its theme. See, I want to see that.
I went to Universal Studios in Orlando once on Halloween or right around Halloween, and they had a thing where you could pay a little bit extra and stay after the park closed. And they had a bunch of crazy psychotic people running around in costumes, and they had a giant parade with all these huge characters in it and everything. It was awesome.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, here's another ad for the Halloween parade down here on Kitla and the Black Cat playing on Channel 11, but that's Los Angeles.
Angeles.
Vampire. Oops.
Adam H. Vampire. There we go. Love it.
Tuesday Weld.
And then, I guess that was, no, I had a ton more. I won't bore everyone, but here we go. We got some cool ones here. The Blood Rose, the Body Stealers. That sounds like an awesome
horror movie. That's what the tagline was in some of the ads.
Oh yeah, the first sex something film.
Horror
Spectacular.
film. Sex horror film.
Oh, sex horror film.
Sex horror film.
Oh yes, yeah. Halloween monster party. That's pretty cool. Want to go there? 3 hours of prowling monsters.
Yeah, prowl away.
So they don't tell you what the movies are. Free ticket to another movie to all children coming in costume. Wow. That's pretty cool. Count Yoga. And
Ooh,
is this Scream, Blackula Scream, Patello? Oh no, Vincent Scream and
that's
Scream
Scream
again.
and Scream again.
Yeah. Halloween sale. No tricks, just treats. Yeti's Black Boutique. That's cool. Free Halloween gift.
The free wiglet.
A wiglet. Yeah, I'd like a wiglet.
Yeah,
please.
my mother used to have a wiglet. Excuse me. That's pretty cool. Moonlight Madness is coming. All right, and then there was they're all kind of the same. But Bill, if you want some of these, I can send them. I got a whole
sure.
folder. So all right, so I'm gonna stop. I like that. That's cool. That reminds me of Charles Adams's artwork. That might actually be like lifted
it
from
looks
one
like
of his
a Charles Adams. For
It's
real.
like Pugsley costume. That's interesting. All right, so let me get back to my notes here. So, you know what? One thing that I always forget about is that I love to do around Halloween. I go on haunted attractions. Like in Massachusetts, we used to have a place called Spooky World. And it was huge, but it was always like ridiculously far away. I didn't just say that. And
we didn't hear it.
Okay. And it was always really far away, but I ended up working at Spooky World one year. I'm trying to remember when that was. I helped paint a bunch of the sets, and it was pretty good.
I think there was one year where you and Chris and I were supposed to go, and I wasn't feeling all that great, but I didn't want to miss it, so I dragged myself out there, and I just kept drinking like hot cider every time I could get a hold of some hot cider. I would drink some hot cider and try to feel better, and I was glad that I went.
Is that the one where the three of us were sitting on the hayride and there was a Leatherface statue like sitting on the thing, and I go, "Oh, look at that Leatherface statue!" And then he got up and knocked the microphone and the chainsaw. And he was like, "Whoa!"
Yes.
We screamed like schoolgirls. Excuse me for one minute.
Ooh, I like the cup.
Oh, nice. Nice. Halloween
And I'm drinking apple cider too.
Oh, wow.
I'm living this moment.
You are.
I mean, Bill, you must have haunted attractions in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we do. We used to have a lot more, but of course, COVID killed a lot of that stuff. But there's a couple of attractions that I like to go to every year. One of them I haven't gone to in a long time. It was we have a local amusement park here called Kennywood. And in the fall, like in October, Kennywood, it closed for the season in September, but it would stay open on the weekends for Halloween. And the whole park is just rethemed into they change all the light bulbs into like Halloween colors. And the first year that they had it, they had all these tubes running all over the park that had mist coming out everywhere. So the whole park was covered in mist. Someone mustn't have liked that because they never did it again. They were like, maybe that's not a good idea. But I loved it. And all of there's like 5 different haunted attractions in the park. Like they totally turn the ride into a haunted house. So it's a lot of fun. But it sort of went downhill after the first couple of years because people started to get word of it and more people were showing up and there were too many people in a really small place. And I have sort of like a dislike for large crowds, and I just stopped going. I was like, I can't bear the thought. And it would take like 3 hours, 2 hours to get into one haunted attraction. So why do that? I mean, like you're gonna do 2 things after you pay $30 to get in or something crazy like that. So but it was fun while it lasted. Or when I was doing it anyway. There's another place called 100 Acres Manor that I go to. Maybe not every year, but if I was going to go to one this year, that would probably be the one I'd go to. It's in a local park, and they have, I think it's a structure that stands year round, and they have some pretty elaborate things to walk through in there. It's a lot of fun.
That's cool. Yeah, we have a park near us, Michael and me. in New Hampshire called Canopy Lake Park, and they do the same thing. They close for the season in September and then reopen in October with the whole Halloween done completely over as horror themed and stuff. And I want to try and get there this year. It's pretty fun. What about you, Dantes? What do you got going on in Chicago there?
Well, every year, one of the things that I like to do is I like to visit the old Joliet haunted prison. So we do that every year.
Ooh.
So I don't know if you guys know about that prison, but it's been featured in a lot of stuff. Probably most famously the Bruise Brothers.
The
Yeah, so
Bruise Brothers?
Blues Brothers.
Oh,
Brothers.
Blues Brothers. I don't know why that came out like this. Sorry, guys, but we go there, and it's honestly it's like 5 floors of just like complete madness. Like the first 2 floors, like immediately when you walk in, you have like dead prisoners that are coming out, trying to attack you. You have a lot of noise. You have like sirens that are blaring through the facility. So it's pretty scary. So that's what I like to do every year. I just got into like bobbing for apples. That's something that like me and my partner, I'm not like a big fan of sticking my fucking head in a big tub of water, but
everyone else has stuck their head in.
right, exactly. That's my rationale behind that. I don't really, but we've been doing it for the last year and a half, so we'll probably end up doing that again. And then other than that, just my usual Halloween decorating that I like to do around the house. Did I tell you guys about my Halloween tree? I did.
Yes.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
ghost eyes.
Yeah. It's just a white sheet with, some drawn on ghost eyes, and you throw the sheet over, your Christmas tree. And that way, when it's time for, the holiday, all you gotta do is just pull it off. So
That's
Nice.
a good idea.
And Michael, I want you to tell us about any haunted attractions you may have encountered in Hawaii, but also I want you to tell us about your costume that you did one year where you were the character from, was it The Ring? I
ooh.
think.
Oh yeah. I don't. I wish I had some pictures of that. Yeah, I used to work at a school with primarily Japanese students, and a lot of the Japanese ghosts look like the one in The Ring, where the woman is like a woman or a girl in like a nightgown with whatever, what, pale skin or drippy or whatever in one way or another, but having the dark hair down over the face to hide the face. So I decided I was gonna scare the shit out of all of them and dress like that, and it worked. It worked. It scared the bloody hell out of them. They wouldn't come near me. And the key to it was not to talk. So I dressed up like that. I even got a padded bra from Amazon or eBay or somewhere to make it look like I had like a slightly feminine form. And I got like a woman's nightgown, and I shredded it up, and I put makeup all over my skin. I mean, I still have man hands, and I shaved the hair off my arms and my legs. That's how far I was
Commitment.
commitment to my costume. But you could still, some of them couldn't tell if I was male or female, and some of them knew. Um, but in any case, they were just scared. They were scared out of their minds. It was so awesome. So I just walked around. I got this awesome black wig, and I just draped it down over my face, but I could see through it perfectly fine, but they couldn't see me at all. And yeah, I'm scared. Just walked around and didn't speak. Just walked around, didn't speak. Just
That's
hunched
so awesome.
over, and like they didn't know who I was, and then and it scared the hell out of them. And I would hear them talking about like behind me, like going to take a picture, and I would stop and I would turn toward them, and they would all run away. It's so satisfying. It was like one of the most satisfying Halloween costumes I ever did. It was so satisfying, like getting people scared to death.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
so yeah, and then eventually, people figured out that it was me and all that. But yeah, as far as Hawaii goes, they used to do a parade. They used to do a Halloween parade. And the big tourist area, Waikiki, became like a big Halloween party, like people kind of like bar hopping and just kind of like all gathering out in the street, kind of deal. So I got a little taste of that in the beginning when I first went, just because I was curious, and then after that I stayed away from it because I didn't want to deal with the crowds. Um, but yeah, and they have some ghost stories and things there. I think there's even a ghost or like a tour you can go on, like a bus tour. I know they had one of these in New Orleans when my ex-wife and I were there. They had a haunted tour that would take you around and show you different places that had a story that went with it and everything. And I think they had something like that in Hawaii too. I never did the one in Hawaii, but I heard about it. And yeah, they have their legends. One of them is this something about a woman waiting on the side of the road at night in a certain area, and if you give her a ride, then you'll find like I forget what it is. There's some specific thing where you're supposed to talk to her or not talk to her, or you take her to her destination and then turns out she's not there, or
And then you go to her grave, and the jacket you gave her to wear is on the gravestone. That's how one version of it goes.
oh, okay. Yeah, they probably have different versions of this story in
The
different places.
hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. One thing I just thought of too was in recent years, although they haven't done it I don't think in the last couple of years, but probably, geez, when I say recent years, probably like 10 years ago, the Ghost Hunters on, I guess they were on Sci-Fi Channel. They would do a live ghost hunt every Halloween night, and it would literally be live all night long. And
Wow.
people would watch it, and if they saw something move in the background, they'd mention it, they chime in, and that was always fun to watch. They never really ever found anything, but
Imagine that.
Do you remember going to Dudleytown? Do you remember you and me and Chris
Yes.
packed up and went to Dudleytown?
Yes.
And then what did we do? We walked around in the woods and I don't remember
Well,
the trip itself really. I just remember preparing for it, but I know we went.
It was a weird story. So I had this book. I still have it. It's something about haunted New England, and there was one chapter on this place called Dudleytown, which is in Connecticut. It's just over the Massachusetts border, and apparently the settlers that were there. This all happened, I think, way back when, like the 1600s. Everyone died a horrible, crazy death, like struck by lightning, killed by a windstorm, set on fire, or just all these crazy things. So the town was considered cursed, and nobody's there. But Dudleytown still existed. And I found out, I called the author actually. Before the internet, I tracked down the author and actually spoke to him, and I asked him about it. And he basically said, yeah, you can go there. He goes, but a lot of it's private property, so you can't really go in. But there were still sinkholes left from the houses that were there. So you could see the foundation walls. So I was like, all right. So the first time I went with my parents. I packed up a huge bag full of stuff, and we went there and we walked up the hill, and I think I went to the library at that point, and the lady wouldn't even talk about Dudleytown. She was just like about any of the crazy things that went on. She absolutely refused to answer any of my questions. And that was when later on, me and Chris Michael went, and we did the same thing. We walked up the hill. You could see, I think I brought a lot more stuff with me. So my bag was ridiculously heavy because I think we had just seen what was it, Fright Night, and I wanted a bag like Peter Vincent.
I remember going to the hardware store.
Yeah.
I remember we were going to the hardware store, preparing for a Cthulhu adventure or something. We need some rope. Okay. What do we need the rope for? We just bring rope. Okay. Let's get some rope.
That's funny. I don't know. Dante said he'd be back in a few minutes, and I think I might have accidentally. Oh no, he's still there. All right. Yeah, and it was but we ended up just we could see that private property everywhere, but you could see the walls that were left from the houses.
Yeah.
And we got to the top of this hill, and then for some reason we just felt this need to just leave. Remember that? We just all right, we got to get out of here.
I don't remember the trip itself. I remember talking about it. I remember packing up for it. I remember being there, and then, but I don't remember like the details about us being there. So, but we
Yeah,
all
it was
got a
weird.
weird
Like,
feeling, and we just decided let's get the fuck out of here, kind of thing.
yeah.
Wow.
Love to go back there someday. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But apparently the locals just frown upon it. They don't they don't like their history. They don't like to talk to people
Yeah.
about it. So um
It's
all
our
right,
adventure.
Don't forget, I've got my Halloween records to show.
oh yeah, go right ahead, do it.
Would now be an okay time?
It would
Absolutely.
All right.
be.
So I pulled some specific records for each one of you. I'll wait till Dantes comes back to show his.
Specific ones for
Well,
each one of us.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Believe it or not. Okay, so this one's for you, Michael. It's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, read by Boris Karloff.
Oh,
Oh wow.
nice.
Here, I'm gonna
Right.
go, I'm gonna change the view so it's
Oh, I
speaker
love it.
view. So Bill, talk again when you see it. For some reason, my
Hello.
thing is like blue.
Hello. Hello.
All right.
Hello.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Bill, I changed it to speaker view. So hold it up again and talk so the camera goes to
Okay.
you.
All right. So here's the back cover of Boris Karloff, narrates tales of mystery and imagination. The prominent story, of course, being The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Not to mention Rip Van Winkle, not really a Halloweenish kind of thing.
Yeah.
But here's the front view. I think everybody saw it. So that's that one. And
That's awesome.
the one I pulled for Rigor is this one. It's Dark Shadows.
Oh,
The soundtrack to the TV show Dark Shadows. Lots of cool stuff on here. Lots of the spooky Dark Shadows theme, by the way, and like the little background music that they played all the time. And there's a couple of groovy jams too, like that weird surf rock twangy stuff that they used to listen to at the Blue Whale in Collinsport.
that's awesome. I have two records and I can't think of who they're by, but it's Quentin's theme is the prominent, the theme song for it. It's called Quentin's
Yeah.
theme. And I think, and then there's other songs. They're not the actual soundtrack. I wish I had thought of to pull those out of my collection.
It was a hit,
But-
Quentin's theme. And then
Yeah.
somebody covered it, like someone recorded and popularized a version of it. So that was kind
I
of
used to work at this
unusual.
hotel. I used to work at this hotel in Ogunquit, Maine called the Cliff House. And it literally was on a cliff. And every time I looked out the giant panoramic windows and I would see the water crashing up on the thing, the theme song would just go through my head every time.
So I was really into sound effects records as a kid, and this was another one of my favorites, Ghostly Sounds. And there were actually two different versions of this, and I didn't realize that until later in life because I don't know, I have this obsessive thing where if I'm in a record store and I find a record that I had as a kid and it's in really nice condition, even though I'm probably never going to listen to it, I have to pick it up. Not so with Ghostly Sounds because I do listen to it all the time. And I discovered there were two different, totally different versions of this record with different sound effects on it. So that was an interesting find for
That's
me.
awesome.
And here's another one that was a must-have: Famous Ghost Stories with Scary Sounds. There was a guy named Wade Denning who used to make a lot of these records and narrating spooky stories and creating the sound effects that go behind them. He did a lot of themed holiday stuff, Wade Denning. And I'll show you another one of his records here in a minute. But this one is Famous Ghost Stories with Scary Sounds. This, Michael, actually has a version of The Hitchhiker on it. That story I don't know. I mean, it's too similar not to have been like the origin of the Hitchhiker legend or whatever. But it has a little bit of a twist, and I gave away the twist at the end. The narrator of the story, who gives the hitchhiker a ride home, she sends him up to her house's door to ring the bell because she's too tired, which is your first red flag. And the guy
Yeah.
goes up and her mother answers the door. And she's like, don't say a word, just come this way. And she takes him to the girl's room and shows him her picture, like her funeral picture. And he runs
God.
out of the house. She's like, my daughter died years ago. And ever since then, some stranger brings her home. And he runs past the car and there's no one in it. And he goes, he gave her his jacket. Oh, she takes him to the grave. That's right. She takes him to her daughter's grave and he sees his jacket sticking out from under the gravestone, like she was still wearing it when she went back in there.
Oh, wow.
I've heard the
Wow.
story, but I've never heard that part of the story. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Famous monsters speak.
Oh, I have a download of that.
Yeah, it's really not that exciting if you ask me. It's like an old radio show. It's more like an old radio show. And I love old time radio, so I'm not knocking it. I don't know. This one never really turned me on, so to say, so to speak. But, I'm always open to new experiences. Here's another. This is sort of like an off-brand, chilling, thrilling sounds of the haunted house. Many of the sound effects on this record are actually from that Disney record. They're just slowed down to a really super slow speed. But it's got a charm all its own. It's because they're not sound effects you hear all the time. The ones from the Disney record are from sound libraries, and you'll actually hear those in movies all the time because it's the same source material. Not so with spooky sounds. Here's another Wade Denning record. This is it's just called Halloween. It's Wade Denning and Kay Land. She's a female vocalist. And these are like almost like records that they would play for you in school. I think it was intended to be played in school. Oh, that reminds me, there's another record I totally forgot to bring. But anyway, if you've ever seen Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween, of course, most of us have probably seen it. The lead off song is in this is HALLOWEN spells Halloween. That's in Rob Zombie's Halloween. It's from this album.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
And
I can't get my ear to not blur.
well, since it looks like Dantes isn't going to come back, and this is the last one,
he said he had to break away for 15 minutes, but
okay. Well, I'll show it to him again, but it's Casper.
Casper.
House Tales.
oh, wait, talk again, Bill. I'm sorry.
It's Casper Haunted House Tales, and there's a maze and Halloween puzzles on the back, which, unfortunately you could only solve them once, and then your record is totally defaced. I would never write on it. It's against my principles.
That's hilarious.
Okay, I think that's everything. Thanks for indulging me. I mean, I have many more, but I'm not going to waste everybody's time talking about them.
No, it's awesome. I love looking at
Yeah, that's very cool.
I wanted to mention two costumes. We kind of talked about costumes last year, but I just remember, I did a Hellboy costume. I didn't bring any Halloween pictures from costumes in the past, but Michael, we were doing cosplay before it was called cosplay.
Yeah.
I did
we would
Hellboy.
spend months putting costumes together for.
You and me did. I was Darth Vader and you were Boba Fett, and we used paper mache to make the masks. And
Yeah.
when I look back on it, the Vader mask is like this big compared to my head. It was huge. It's stupid looking.
Yeah.
But we thought it was awesome. Me and Chris did the Ghostbusters one year, and I had to make it so that I wired them up to an audio cassette recorder. So when you hit the on switch on the thing, it would make the sound. It would play. It would go ka-chee,
Yeah. That's awesome.
And
yeah, it's
you
fun.
did
It's
some
so
good
much
ones
fun
too, Mike.
Dressing up.
Yeah,
I did
I
Freddy
think your
Krueger.
Greatest American Hero costume was awesome.
Greatest American Hero. I did. Yeah. Yeah. that one. And once I got it into my head, like this is the way it would be every year. I would around July or August, I would already know what I was going to go as that year. And then once I got it into my head, I would just obsess over it until I figured out like how I was going to do each part of it. And yeah, yeah, it was fun. I love it. I love it.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, guys. Well, this was fun. And we're kind of wrapping early. We usually do 3 hours, but it's 2 hours. Thank you to the folks at home for chiming in and letting us know that things weren't right at first, and then joining the discussion. So that's awesome. And folks, don't forget to go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/user/UncleDeath1 and give us a like and hit that little bell so you get notifications. And if you can't find it, or if that link for whatever reason doesn't work, I know I was having trouble with that exact link today. You can just go to YouTube and search for Fright Lounge. So, Dantes, once more, where can the folks find you at home?
Facebook.com/Dantes Alexander Me. You guys can also go listen to my new album, They Won't Go When I Go, which is available on all streaming platforms as Dantes, not Dantes Alexander.
Awesome. Bill?
Groovydoom.etsy.com is the Etsy shop where you can purchase the fanzine Haunt, and it's brand new and it's starting to ship tomorrow, so you'll get it in plenty of time for the big day. Also on YouTube, check out the Groovy Doom channel, and also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's all Groovy Doom.
Awesome. You can find me at havenpodcasts.com. And you can also, if you're a soap opera watcher, you can also find me at soaphub.com and soapcentral.com. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a happy Halloween.